Hey guys, Inspector Holmes here, and I'm inspecting a log house that was built in 1986. So it's an older kit style home, and I wanted to show you some of the defects that I find on these older kit style homes because the regulations were not really in place in the 80s where they are now or even before then. But one thing that I want to show you guys is this great room. And so I'll turn the camera around. And so we have this gigantic great room here. We've got board and batten siding here, and then the log itself starts here. We've got logs on both ends. And then you have the rafters that go up to the ridge board there, and you have some rafter ties there. And so these rafter ties were put in place to kind of alleviate some of the stress that the rafters put on the load-bearing walls, which are the front and rear of the house. And so these logs here are nice and plumb until I get to this front entry door and this side here. And so one thing on your inspections that you guys want to try to do is go right to the front entry door, and I'm just going to open the door, and the door is going to close by itself. And it doesn't have self-closing hinges, just so you guys know. But the door closed by itself, which means that the outside wall here, this wall is leaning outward. So this load-bearing wall here with this opening in the door, which is a natural weak point in a log wall here, it's leaning out. And the reason is because they've created rafter ties on all the other rafters, and they left them off on these two here. And I see this quite often. I don't know why they left them off, because they visibly have room here to do that. But when you leave off the rafter ties, this creates a load that it's not designed for. So the load and the weight of the roof that's coming down here is now pushing on the rafters out here, which is now pushing this exterior wall outward. And so if you go up to the ridge board, and we'll go upstairs to the loft. So we go up to the ridge board, you can clearly see there's a gap and a separation between this rafter in the ridge board and that rafter in the ridge board. And so because there's no rafter ties here, this is allowed to move just due to the weight and gravity of the roof, and it's actually pushing all the way down to this load-bearing wall here, which is the log wall, which is allowing this front entry door to close shut on its own, which is indicating movement, a outwardly movement in this wall here. So when you're inspecting older log homes and you don't necessarily have the plans available, these are some of the things that you want to look at. You want to look at these strong walls here. You want to look at these good load-bearing walls where the rafters go and meet to the top on both front and rear. And you want to see if there's any deflection. Now I'm going to put a 3-foot level on this door trim because it's nice and flat, and on this window trim to see if there's any noticeable movement with that level. And then I report those. So I'll take pictures and video just like I'm doing today, and I'll report all of these defects to the homeowner or the potential buyer, and so that we can show them and illustrate exactly what's going on as far as movement goes. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Again, this is one little thing that I look at when I'm looking at a log home, but there's many facets of a log home inspections that you guys should be aware of. But thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon.